Happy New Year 2022. Good to talk to you again. This is going to be a more detailed video. The topic is how we handle an oversupply situation. You saw the short video that is associated with this. Let's get into some real nitty-gritty details. This is not to be considered a negative video, but it is to make you aware of things that can happen and eventually will happen. Markets shift. Markets trend up and down various ways. You know that. You've been around for a while. So let's talk about this. I have yet to read any analysis from anyone, anywhere, that predicts that the market will flatten out in 2022 and that supply will begin to overtake demand. Now, that's not the case right now. Obviously, it wasn't the case in 2021, and we alerted you correctly not to undersell your house and underlist the price, which most people do. I talked about this before. I can build a highway from here in Washington, D.C., all the way to L.A. with all the money that people have left on the table as sellers in 2021 by underselling their property. That may be the case for another month, 2 months, 3 months, we don't know, but it is going to change. The call that most people are saying is prices are going to keep increasing, but not nearly as much as 2021. If that's not a safe, easy way to just punt and not answer the question, I don't know what is, but let's get into more detail. We're a lot more provocative, you know that. Let's repeat what I've been saying for a long time. The prices are way up for two factors, the supply and ridiculously low interest rates. Now, interest rates are going to go up. It's a question of when, not if. And it's a question of how much. And that can be a lot larger percentage than people think right now. As we enter 2022, here we are today, the 10-year Treasury bond is below 1.5%. The benchmark 30-year mortgage rate is below 3.5%. The day will come when we look back on this situation as incredibly stupid, quite frankly. The bond market is being heavily manipulated. The Fed cannot and will not continue to do this, and rates are going to go up. Now, whether they go up to 2% on the 10-year, 3% on the 10-year, 4%? Who knows? And when will it happen? March, June, September? Who knows? But it is going to happen. On top of that, we have an inflated stock market. So that is a possible risk. You may think there's no relationship here, but it does have an impact on people's psyche. If the market starts slowing down and moving down and people feel less wealthy, selling begets selling. And that could bleed into people's attitude towards buying real estate. This is not a gloom and doom prediction, but it's a cautionary note. Now, let's get to the facts. Number one, we know that interest rates are going to go up. We're at 1.5% on that 10-year Treasury right now. That is not going to continue. And mortgage rates obviously follow the Treasury rates to a very, very large degree. Should rates increase, historically, it will be a significant percentage rise. Like a move from 1.5% to 3% is a doubling, right? It's not out of the question. 3% would still be considered historically extremely low. So I'm not saying it's going to get there, but I'm not going to say it's not possible to even go higher than that. But the trend will be for higher rates in 2022. Rampant speculation is beginning to surface in many areas and many types of real estate if you look around the country. And although this may appear in residential real estate, let's just say that it can trigger some caution. So you have to be a little more selective. It's not just a matter of whatever you buy is going to go up, so just jump in the market before anybody else does. That's where we were in 2021, quite frankly. And if you weren't quick to buy, you weren't quick to waive inspection clauses and do all kinds of other things, you weren't going to be a buyer. let's not do that in 2022. We're going to have to be much more selective in the way we buy properties. The overwhelming majority of you don't plan on moving. You don't plan on selling. And in those cases, look, enjoy your home, your neighborhood, and your recent rise in equity, and I'll probably rise a little bit more. And it's a good situation for you. Just hang tight. No sense to be an alarmist of any kind. So we're not gearing this video towards you. For those who are truly considering selling in the next 12 to 24 months, say, this video is for you. You will never have a window of opportunity to sell so easily and at such high levels than you have right now. It's not going to get any better than this. Whether prices continue to move up a little bit, who's to say? But I certainly think things are going to at least flatten out, and I certainly believe that there's going to be much more supply coming on the market on a percentage basis compared to 2021 than anybody considers right now. I'm not so sure the demand is as strong as we think it is. It's very strong because of the lack of supply. So there may be 10 buyers for every home for sale, but what if you put 5 or 10 times more homes on the market? That is going to happen. There is absolutely no guarantee on where prices are going to go, nor how easy it's going to be to sell your home. So let's stay in touch on that. That's something to keep an eye on as we enter the spring and as we move into the summer particularly. We do need to keep an eye on that. My bottom line is this: if you are considering a sale in the near future, in 2022, let's talk. I want to see you well prepared if things slow down or if they reverse course. And staying aware and being prepared, these are good things. Awaiting for confirmation from the experts on the direction of housing prices does nothing more than assure that you will be late to spot obvious changes. And being too late puts you in the potential of being on the oversupply bandwagon, rather where you would be right now, where there's an over-demand situation going on, and you can take advantage of that. So I look forward to talking to you, hearing from you. 2022 is going to be a great year. It's going to be much more active, many more transactions, and there's going to be many more different ways of transaction. We're going to get into that also. 100% of the time, it may not be in your best interest to use a realtor. I'll admit that. Nobody else in the real estate industry will. I'm not going to say that in all cases at all times you should use a real estate agent. Most of the time you should, but beyond that, you need to have a really good and aware real estate agent. And if you're in the higher end of the market, get somebody who's a boutique, unique realtor or a small realtor team to deal with you. They will take care of you. They will be focused on you. They're not going to spread it out to other team members, and they're going to worry about you, and that's what I care about. The more I take care of you, the better it will be for me. So I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you listening to this.